Being a McDonald's All-American means a lot to me because I worked really hard for it.
Growing up, that's something that you dream about. That's what you want to be in. That's something you put in the work throughout your whole career to make a game like that. And for it to be taken away, it was one of those moments where it was like all the work I put in was for nothing.
Weezy out of here. Weezy out of here. Weezy out of here.
Beast. Beast. I'm a beast. Oh my God. Mood swings out of line. Mood swings out of time. I was broke. I'm a rock. I'm a goat. I'm a god. I'm a beast. I'm a god. Let it fly. You don't want no problem. I be feeling like Batman. My always robbing. I just got caught. My best.
I'd probably say I got serious like around 6th grade because I felt like really competitive and I always wanted to win, and it was just fun and I was really passionate about it.
I say I got serious about basketball in about the 5th grade. Like, I knew I was good, but that's when I realized like I could be great and take my talents to the next level.
Like mine is, I remember the first day they both came, like to work out. So Sarah's first day, I believe she was in the 3rd grade, but really I knew her brother was coming. Like her brother was coming to work out. And then like, at that time we only trained boys. I think Sarah might have been our first girl. We only trained boys. And so there was this little girl like running around the gym, like in the beginning. And I was just like, is she working out? And her dad was like, yeah. And so I was like, all right, we'll see how this goes. And then once she started going, just saw how athletic she was, she could already handle the ball. Like she had already so much natural ability. Like I knew she was gonna be really good at that time.
Yeah, I'm from the Bronx, not Benny. I swear I don't even know why I did it. AP costs 150. I be feeling like I'm drowning with it. If you tryna ride the wave, you should be afraid that you don't drown in it. I be feeling like the king of my city. From the Bronx, not Benny. Yeah. 500K, that's just on the Richie. My you don't wanna play with my city. Die every day in my city. Whole lot of young wild. If you tryna ride the wave, you should be afraid that you might drown in it. I be feeling like the king of my city, and that with me wearing a Mary. Headshot like proud.
Hannah, when she first walked in the gym, I won't tell my story. She first walked in the gym, I knew she had a chance to be really. Honestly, it wasn't as obvious as Sarah, but Hannah had a really good touch. We saw that from day one. Like she could shoot the basketball. She had a really good touch. I think I noticed Hannah really kind of turning the corner. I call her Boogie. It feels weird calling her Hannah. I noticed Boogie turned the corner. Like I think it was one day she was on the other end with Stokes, and then Stokes had another one of our clients at the time. Her initials are HG too. Like so, both of their initials are HG. And all I can remember Stokes yelling is, "Who's gonna be the best HG? Who's gonna be the best HG?" And then I just saw a monster come out of Boogie, and she started bowing and pushing, and like just really competing really, really hard. And I was like, she got some beast in her. That day kind of sticks out in my mind is when I was like, she could be really special.
Just to piggyback on what Earl said, basically been in Sarah's life training since she was grade school, and she just had all the tools. She was just a special kid. And it was another story with Bug, almost like the same situation. I want to say it was during the holiday season, maybe of her freshman year, and I think E had a girl on his end, and I had Hannah, and I was just watching her, man. She was going through ball handling drills like nothing. I was like, E, she gonna be the #1 player in the country. She has potential to be the #1 player in the country. And he was like, nah, she ain't got it. And I was like, she gonna be the #1 player in the country. And I mean, it seemed like from just that day forward, she just took her game to the next level and, became a state champion at Duncanville. And I mean, just skies was just the limit for her. I knew that day she had what it take to be where she is now.
And number 21, senior Gusters.
that I'm got too much to lose. Don't make me lose it. I can't be trusting no you stupid. I came with a shooter, he came with a Ruger. I just seen one of my bros on the news. I can't call him no more. He respect why I do it. I'm in a big body Benz with my friends and it look like we just hit a lick off the jeweler. Look like a dope boy, hop out of Rolls Royce. They taking my flows like I said they could use it. 30 Diana, I'm pushing the phantom. I know that they wanna see me in the building. 3 different bourbons, we 21 deep. You see gang in the shows like they don't know my music. Bitch, ain't on me when I didn't have money. You feeling so stupid. I'm from the trenches with get hit up for nothing. You better go get on your bully. It's me acting so tough you can front if you want. Got that could knock down a bully. Talking to police, you don't even know me. You only hit.
Basketball means to me like it's something I love to do. It's not something I'm forced to do, but it's something I love to do because I've seen all the things that it's done for me. I mean, it's got my college paid for, and basketball can take you all around the world if you wanted to. So I mean, I just realized it's something that allows me to escape from some of my problems. Like I use it as a getaway. It's something I enjoy to do. It's something I love.
I would say a lot of the same stuff. Like basketball is just everything to me. Like I hadn't always just had it easy, so basketball was pretty much an escape for me. Like, and I loved it and was so passionate about it, and it just took me so many places.
It's therapeutic for me. Kind of the same. Just growing up, it was an escape. Nowadays, it's the tool that I'm able to use to kind of help kids and help players position themselves and better position themselves in life, as well as help to teach life lessons. Not every client that we have, and I think this is one thing, like me and Stokes probably, like we really, I don't want to say give ourselves credit for, but we give ourselves credit for. It's like this is Boogie and Sarah. Like they're All-Americans, no doubt. But we treat anybody, whether they're going to be an All-American or whether we know they may not ever get a college scholarship, with the same level of respect, with the same level of energy in that session. Where it's like we've come so far. Like I remember having camps where we had 4 people, but we look at each other now, we're like, let's get it. Because somebody that day is looking to grow, they looking to learn, and there's so many lessons that could be taught through the game of basketball. And that's what I feel like I'm here for personally.
I'm gonna have to stop going last, man, because y'all saying everything I need. Man, it's truly just been a blessing. Just kind of what E said, man, just piggybacking, just helping the young generation out on just like fulfilling their dreams. You know, playing college ball, being able to win a state champion and college championship, just to able to give back to the communities. It's really been a blessing.
Bad shot. You make those, he's giving you the left. Finish on the make. Get that one. Free throws. If y'all don't go slow, y'all can force them to switch. Right. So
But if somebody's playing, so like have a sense of you going off, that a lot of times that open it up and let this person go like this.
And that's when, if they do that, that's when all dive like this.
your dive be going. You know, dive, they can just sit back there and wait. Get down into an attack area where if they need to give you a 10, this is well. Yeah. See help middle or whatever way. You see that? And dive. I'm throwing her to where she's safe. Because wherever she's throwing, you telling her directionally, you good, you safe. Last one. It ain't gotta be the pass off the road. So if I come off of, let's say I went off the first time, went off of the second time, and like you did, we didn't get a good angle, he's still Stokey on post. Like you can be patient and just go with the flow. Okay. She's still boogie. Like even if she don't get off the road, get back into your position. And so you might be right here and go back to what we did.
I'll probably say the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with, well, not ever, but one of the hardest things is probably having to sit out a year. Cause yeah, it was tough. I've never like not played, and of course I was working out, but I wasn't competing against anybody. Like I wasn't going against girls. Like I wasn't playing in actual games, so it was really hard to like be watching everybody else and then having to wait.
There you go, good.
I'll say like one of my hardest moments has probably been through like my whole kind of high school career. I mean, almost every year I've dealt with the injury. Like my senior year, I've dealt with the ACL sprain. And I think it's just the fact that I've had continuously injuries. So with me being off the court, I'm having to watch my team suffer without me. And then knowing this was my senior year, when Hannah coming back, she came back, I was out, and then I was in, she was out. I mean, it's just hard having to watch my team compete knowing I can't help them.
To see Hannah sit out, we've had a few talks about her sitting out in the past. I just seen her grow. She has matured a lot, man, and just her being a cheerleader, her being a coach on the bench, just helped her game grow even more. And with Sarah sitting out, she as well, just being a leader of the team and just coaching, and I mean, it just prepared them to be more than just a basketball player, just an overall better person.
For Hannah, I say she didn't soak, and she had, I think this year's break, like the first half of the season. So she had to sit out the second half of last year, the first half of this year. So the second half of last year, like we were in the gym, and that's really where we worked on a lot of the perimeter stuff. But like we were up 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning in the gym. You see so many players take long breaks, like whether from a suspension or from whatever it is, but if they have to take a break, when they come back, they're always a step slower. Something doesn't look to be right. Like she was working hard. And I think a testament to that is when she got back on the court this year. Like I remember her tweeting something like 12-15, like it's going down. I mean, she quickly proceeded with a 50 ball, a 40 ball. Like they're like, she put in work. Sarah was like, I love seeing her on the floor, but I loved watching her while she was hurt. Coach, like she was literally an assistant coach, up on her feet, taking over huddles, talking to Hannah Sarah's the only person I can talk to Hannah. Talking to Hannah on the sidelines, like it was really good to see her like lock in and not soak. Like again, not soak. Like just being resilient. I think even like as late as a few weeks ago, like her not making the McDonald's All-American game, like she didn't soak. Literally, like it was like, hey, let's get in the gym tonight. It's just continuously fighting back, continuously coming back from adversity. And ultimately, everything that they're going through, like I know for a fact, will play an instrumental role in who they'll be down the road.
We suffered without you.
Hey, we suffered a few times.
Being a McDonald's All-American means a lot to me because I worked really hard for it. Like when I was younger, I really wasn't, like nobody was really on the lookout for me. Like I really wasn't, I wasn't ranked or nothing like that. Like I had to work really hard to get to that point, like training every day. When we took a break in August, like I was the only one, I remember being the only one in gym. That's because that was one of my goals. And so it just means a lot because like that's every high schooler's dream.
When it goes back to what I was saying that day when she was training, and I knew that she could be, if not one of the best players in the country. I knew she had a huge opportunity to become a McDonald's All-America. And when I first heard her name, man, I was at work and I saw the list and I saw her name. It really brought joy, and it really brought tears to my eyes because I know how hard she worked, and I know how much time E and myself put in with her, along with the other trainers as well. But man, just to see that all the hard work paid off, it was like a relief. It was like a joy of relief.
If I'm being honest, day one was kind of weird for me because it was kind of bittersweet. Because Hannah made it, and I was extremely happy for it, but then Sarah didn't make it. And like their stories are almost like opposite, right? Like opposite, but end up in the same place. Like Sarah had been considered probably the best player in the state for sure since 6th, 7th grade. And so like she's been there, and it was kind of like, that's Sarah. Hannah didn't really hit the scene, like the national scene, until summer of her freshman year. Like I remember watching Hannah play her freshman year at Duncanville, and like she didn't play all of that much. And I remember going back and forth with my coaching staff, like, can she play 17U EYBL? Is she 16s? Like we didn't know. Like, so like we really weren't even sure. Like I didn't think she was gonna play 17. Like I thought she was gonna ride the bench, honestly. But she came out and like she's been working, busting her butt from that day ever since. But with that said, like at some point we've kind of like, I would say Stokes and I are kind of like, yeah, we got 2 McDonald's All-Americans. Like both of them be McDonald's All-Americans. So the first day when Sarah, like when the list was released and Sarah wasn't on it, like it was a tough day for me personally. And it was a tough day for her, I know. But I know I was hurting, so I can't even imagine how she felt. But then I had to wake up the next day and realize like Hannah literally busted her butt to get there. Like she sacrificed so much. And although I was disappointed and sad for Sarah, I couldn't let that take away my joy and excitement and the support I needed to be giving Boogie on her huge accomplishments. So it was bittersweet, it was weird, and me and Boogie even had to talk. Like Boogie was like it's tough for me to be even happy because she was so upset about Sarah not making it. But as we said, adversity only makes us better, but don't kill us, make us stronger.
This is what that jungle do. This is all I ever wanted. Why would I let you take it from me? I ain't stupid, ain't no dummy. A couple fingers on a couple triggers. You been plotting, wasn't you? I should've been watching from the jump with you. This is what that jungle do. Started what I started. Anybody want a problem? This is my shit. Tell them if they want a problem. Up in High Bridge, got them with a shotgun up in my way. Making so retarded. Why you think my name is artist? I'm an artist. I woke up to a Menage, I'm just being honest. I get money if I want it, I'm a carpet. If a nigga want static, let him have it. Have you ever seen a mini semi-automatic? It go thumb like a drum, hit a beat blasting. When it come to that fire, I'ma drag it. Huh? This is what that jungle do. Yeah, this is what that jungle do. You been plotting, it wasn't you. I should've never even with you. I was walking in the rain with my Tim's on, stepping over puddles full of pain. It's a big storm. 13 on my ball mains. It's a big storm. In the club, let them make it rain like what? No, I'm all about my bar. Nah, I don't trust. Ever since I was a young, coming up, there ain't nobody show me love. But it's shit sauce. Yeah, this is what that jungle do. This is what that jungle do. That jungle turned me to a monster. That jungle
what is
made me
your
go
whole thought
harder.
process with not making the McDonald's team this year?
I mean, I think nobody really knows the story about like behind it. I was sitting, like honestly, I was sitting in class and like, you know, the list coming out and I'm like, if I'm on there, you know, like I'm blessed. If I'm not, like it ain't gonna be my downfall. Like I remember my dad texting me and he was like, did you hear? And I'm like, nah, like I didn't. So I'm sitting in class and I'm just thinking like it was the end of the world. And like everybody was texting me like, I'm sorry to hear, blah, blah, blah. So I mean, at that moment I was like, all the work I've put in for nothing. Like it was one of those moments where it was like, my hard work, like I hadn't paid off. So then I remember, like I didn't show, like nobody, when everybody called me, like everybody expected me to be crying but I never showed I was down. Like I looked at the list and I'm like, well, Hannah made it, so I ain't tripping. She gonna go put on for MacArthur and put on for Baylor. She gonna represent the Dallas area fine. So I'm sitting there like, I can't be down about myself, and my girl made it. So I remember I get in the car with my dad, and he's just like how you feeling? And I'm like, I mean, I'm disappointed growing up, that's something that you dream about. Like, that's what you want to be in. That's something you put in the work throughout your whole career to make a game like that. And for it to be taken away, it was one of those moments where it was like, all the work I put in was for nothing. So it definitely humbled me, and it made me want to work even harder, and it made me realize, like, whenever I play, I got to go at everybody's head, so there's no question of should I be on the list or should not be on the list for whatever reason. So, I mean, it helped me grow as a person, and it humbled me a lot.
That's a lion. I pull strings like a violin. Hey, look damn, he be wildin'. Who's scared? You think I'm scared? Put them goons on you, that's a nightmare. I got 10 guns, I don't fight fear. Got a buzz now, this a light year. It's that new, got a new. I spent 2 bands on her new kicks, hanging from my neck, that's a Cuban. I swear you don't wanna see me lose it. When that Cuban got bust down, told him I don't give a now. I'm a boogie. What now? See me shining, wanna show me love now. You a dud now. When I see you, I'ma treat you like you.
I think it also goes back to what Boogie was saying when we was talking earlier. Everything happens for a reason. Like, everything is kind of set up. Like, I think with that situation with Sarah, I see her definitely using that as motivation through this playoff run and through her college career too. I think this is just going to motivate her to even just become even better and greater than what she was in high school.
I think that's you said sub?
Snub.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that's just our makeup. Like, overall, I think at some point or another, we done all been, like in the past year or two, like we done all been through so much.
Right.
Like, different levels, different angles, whether it's family, whether it's community, like we've been through so much. But like, we've always stayed constant. Like this row right here, like we've always been together. And so people always wonder, like, hey, why they always together? Or like, why do they, like, it's times where like, me and Stokes don't always get along. But like, there's never a day where we don't have each other's back, right or wrong.
Right.
And I say the same, like within each of these different relationships, that same support exists. Everything ain't peaches and cream. Like, people look and see the success. They see Full Throttle and be like, y'all boys on. Or they see Boogie and they see Sarah and they be like, y'all just got it so easy. Nah, people don't know the struggle. But the biggest thing is just like that love for each other, that connectivity, truly family.
And I think, like, going back to me not making it, I got so much love and support. Like, Earl called me, and I'm in the locker room. I come in, Hannah's hugged me, and Stokes texted me. And I mean, some girls even in college, like, I've never had a relationship with, text me and was like, hey, like, we all know the truth. Like, you should be in it. And I mean, it just made me feel like everybody was behind me and everybody had my back. And, like, there was no reason for me to be down, you know?
She's definitely a McDonald's in our eyes. I tell you that, for sure.
If anybody, she's like, I don't remember doing that.
Hey, when?
When we was doing the box out drill.
You remember.
Oh, yes.
Nah, she almost broke Amani nose. Amani pulled up for the jump shot.
That's
Hannah.
That's old news.
That's your fault. That's when you told her she would close it out.
I said close out, not slap her in the face. It's two different.
I was like, Hannah, you gonna run that girl over? That's old news. I pray for him so.
Rebound. Y'all only got one last playoff.
Y'all got 7 games, man. 7.
We got him too. We got 7.
Hey,
7 wins.
Hey, Kobe and Shaq ain't never lost in the first round of the playoffs.
Okay. But did you hear us get compared to Kobe and Shaq?
I just did it.
No, I'm like,
Okay.
Did you hear it on 104.5?
No.
You
don't listen to the radio.
But he think I'm trying to be funny.
No, I can see the comparison.
But you said, no. You had a boogie moment with me, like,
No,
Okay.
no, I can see the comparison, but no.
But yeah, they did. They compared us to Kobe.
First of all, I'm just.
Like, dominating. Yeah. And then other y'all come. Actually, he didn't want to stay championship. Listen to him.
Basically, possession by possession, like, for real. Like, y'all got to go in the mindset, like, I'm finna play for you, I'm gonna play for you.
Right.
And it's do or die, right? Execute is like the number one thing. Like, execution and discipline. How disciplined are y'all each quarter? And who has the most who has the most strength when it's 4 minutes left in the game and y'all might be down 6 in the fourth quarter. You know, execution. And like I say, 7 games, you need to set personal goals, you need to set team goals. That's why I was like, you need to get 20 rebounds a game. You got 7 games to get 20. That's 140 rebounds. You need like 150 rebounds starting Tuesday until the first weekend in March. You know what I'm saying? Set personal goals.
Mine for you, like on that defensive end, yours should be like no paint touches.
Right.
I feel like people get by you too easy. For as athletic as you are, nobody should ever get by you. And then when people get by, like y'all perimeter guards, it's a chain reaction. She step up, she got to play defense, and you depend on somebody to come down and help the helper. Like, all that's defeated if you just sit down and stay in front of people and stay disciplined.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I feel like everything happened for a reason. Like, I sat out for a year and couldn't play, and then when I finally got back, you got hurt. Like, I feel like so much stuff happened, like, for it to be a breakthrough, and like, you know?
I think it made you have to work without a point guard. It made me have to work without a post.
Yeah.
So
it made us work harder.
Different. Yeah, we had to work on a different part of our game.
Adversity is going to hit in these 7 games. Just know how to handle it.
We gotta know we're gonna get everybody's best punch. Like,
yeah, oh yeah,
some teams ain't never hit a shot. They hit a shot against us.
Yeah, for no, for
we gonna get Timber Creek.
Oh, we're gonna get everybody's best game just because it's us. Just because.
But that's what y'all want though. Y'all don't work so hard saying, yay high. This is what y'all want, man. Like, this is for all the marbles right here. High school playoff. Y'all are on y'all way. 7 games. You got 7 games to win it all. Yeah, 6 to get there, 7 to win it.
And y'all gotta hold each other accountable.
There you go.
Without the other one getting in your feelings.
We've done a fantastic job like that. We're good.
Yeah.
So she gotta be able to be like, hey, rebound, like Boogie, I need that rebound. You like, bet. And you gotta be willing, like, yeah, like, go get the ball.
Yeah,
she told me. She was telling me to go steal the ball from
I'm
somebody on
very
our team.
receptive to her telling me something like.
And be accepted to everybody then.
Like,
Well,
it's different when you tell me from when she tell me.
That's good. I'm fine. As long as somebody can tell you.
I'm just saying. You just. They're not gonna fight on you.
Thank you.
You say that.
here we go. Here we go.
We're not gonna do it.